and welcome to Raising Girls of Inspiration. My name is Angela.
My name is Olivia.
My name is Plain Old Greg.
And we're a podcast that believes in living life to the fullest, loving every moment, and laughing every day. We discuss marriage, love, family, and the joys and woes of raising three beautiful but very different girls. You can listen to us on wherever you listen to your podcast. We are there. Search for Raising Girls of Inspiration. Make sure you follow us. And if you want to see us live, because we have a special guest today, Olivia is here, our oldest daughter. You guys, you have to go to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Search for Raising Girls of Inspiration. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share, because we need some YouTube followers on that podcast. Now, we also have a family YouTube channel, and it's called Girls of Inspiration. You can follow us there, subscribe as well. But for the podcast, search for Raising Girls of Inspiration. It is mental health. The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I myself have dealt with mental illness issues in the past. I've dealt with depression, anxiety, PTSD.
Stem from
military. Stem from being a veteran in the military. So you got my point of view, and then you have Gregory, who works at.
Well, I actually work with youth that have mental health disabilities from the ages of 6 to 18. So that's what I do. So I have a barrage of experience. I've actually been working in the field over 20 years, I would say. 15, 20 years. I've been in the field for a long time. I've seen all aspects of mental health, all the way from adults to youth. But we're talking about youth today. With youth, with their mental health, it stems from trauma. It stems from a lot of things that they were accustomed to. Yeah. It was exposed.
Okay.
At a young age. It's very important. It's highly important, especially when you're young. Because when we was talking about it earlier, we was talking about mental health, and we was talking about 20, 30 years ago. But now everything is more, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I guess everything is more exposed.
And talked about.
Now.
It's bringing, because now they have stuff like mental health awareness.
Yes.
So now people are more aware that there is something called that there is something that people should look at when it comes to mental health.
Yes.
Whereas in the past, a lot of that stuff was like brushed over to the side, like, oh, you kind of weird, or you crazy, or what's wrong with you? Now it's something that people are kind of trying to address. So our topic today is 3 ways that you can recognize if your child, your teen, has something going on when it comes to mental health.
Yes.
So we got Olivia here because she is a teenager, high school, so she has dealt with some anxiety in her past, mainly when it comes to social anxiety. But she's also had to be around other peers in school that have dealt with maybe depression or anxiety or PTSD. So we brought her in today to get her perspective as a teenager, not just because I didn't start dealing with my mental health stuff until I was an adult, because I was in the military. So and then I went over to Iraq and I had combat and stuff like that. So that's what caused mine. But like Greg was saying, it's stuff that happens to kids at such a young age that sometimes it's hard for them mentally to grasp it, which goes on to stem into issues. Yes. Olivia, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's pretty much true.
Okay. It's 3 ways that you can recognize if your teenager, if you should be concerned about your teenager having mental health issues, something that's arising, whether it's depression, anxiety, or PTSD, or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
So the first one you should pay attention to
What
is
is it, Liv? What is the first step, Liv?
A change in behavior.
a change in behavior.
Okay, we skip one.
And that can stem from a lot of different things.
Yes.
Change in behavior. That's a big, broad thing. So
broad.
you can't be like, oh, today my child just don't want to wash dishes. Oh, they're having, a depression and something is wrong. No, it's like a change in behavior, but it's a pattern of it, a continuous change, and it could be slight or it could be a big change.
Right.
What do you think, Greg?
Yes, I've seen it all. I've seen where youth were just sitting there, and then all of a sudden they just explode, 0 to the 100, to 100. And when it's like that, that's not normal. Nobody just explodes from 0 to 100. That's just like you driving the car, and you just crank the car up, and all of a sudden the motor just boom, just caught on fire. That's not normal. Normally it takes a series of the car have to run, have to go through its cycles and things of that nature. So yes, it's very important when it comes to behavior, and when it comes to a change in behavior, you have to just really focus on the actual change. You have to be attentive. That was my word I was trying to get out of my head. As a parent, you have to be attentive in knowing and understanding that actual child, because some behaviors you can actually just you can just notice.
And the change would be something like becoming withdrawn.
Yes, that could be one change.
It can be a change like that, and it's just like don't have a desire to be around family. Don't have a desire to be around friends.
Right. Self-isolation.
Yeah, don't really want to go out or do the same things he's been doing. And it could be either something like video games, or don't have the desire to play the games anymore, or
hygiene. Hygiene would be one. That's a big one. Actually,
changing behavior.
Yes.
But teenagers, a lot of times teenagers just smell anyway, though. So yeah, they do.
They just put a whole bunch of perfume on.
They do.
But it has to be a change.
Oh, well, yeah.
In behavior. Now, if your teenager's always smelly, then that's nothing different.
Well, I think the mental health issue is that if they know they continue to smell and they don't do anything about it, that's a mental health issue.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a mental health issue. Now, because it's almost like when I used to work at Grady, there was an individual that was actually in the hospital, and he had all type of feces or whatever on top of him, on top of his blanket. And he said, "I know him I know him like like off the wall, but But what I'm saying is, he was saying, I was like, man, they say you need to wash your sheets and all that stuff. No, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm absolutely fine. I smell just fine, So I'm just saying, I hate to throw out that that situation. However, but I just feel like if you don't, so that could be one.
Okay.
Along with
okay, we doing change in behavior.
Yes.
So okay.
Yes. So a change in behavior could also be failing in school, failing grades.
Yeah.
That
change
can be
behavior.
Yes. So it's especially if they were actually doing well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they just dropped off. So that could be another change of behavior.
So you just have to know your child. That's the main thing.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. Is to know your child, and when you see something different, when the change in behavior become, and it could be slightly, and then it can continue to exceed to more, then you might need to try to talk to your child and see if something else is going on.
All right.
What's the next one?
All right. So the
body
next
language.
One, body language. That's a good one. Go ahead, Liv.
Oh.
And so the next the next thing you probably should look for is body language.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Olivia, what does body language look like? What do we mean by you say look at body language in the youth when it comes to mental health?
When I was in school, there was this girl, and she just moved from another school, and I can see from her body language, sometimes it's like excitement, like the excitement level sometimes for like unnecessary. It's just like sometimes her excitement levels can get a little crazy or something like that. And it's just hard to deal with, because sometimes when you're just normal and just it's just hard to deal with somebody like that, I guess. I don't know what to say, but
And that girl she had mental health issues going
Yes.
on with her. She had ADHD, but then she also suffered with PTSD. Yeah.
but she was very artistic though.
She could draw.
That's
So-
one of her ways to calm down, basically. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody has that type of thing, like I know I have this 3-year-old that I work at the church. He's autistic, but he has to have a pencil and paper for him to calm down. So he's like, he has to be able to keep writing, and if he doesn't have either one of those, he will freak out. So and he's really good at his letters too. So I'm just saying that some people just need like a certain thing to calm down with. If they don't really have that, I guess they'll just act out. So they're just different from people. So yeah.
Sounds like a coping skill to me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then your particular peer in school, she dealt with bullying, which caused her PTSD from her previous school, correct? Yeah. So when she went to your school and then she started dealing with the bullying, that's when she might have, her attitude, her behavior changed to that anxiety type of thing because she was trying to cope, trying to figure out how to handle it. Yeah.
So her body language, she was like just moving and fidgety and
Yeah.
okay. And just kind of off task. Okay.
A lot of the times, yes.
Gotcha. And that's just one phase of it when it comes to body language. I've seen people, of course, with the quiet, with their head tucked, in their chest, and when they self-isolate themselves, and those are a lot of ways too, of the body language. And when there's no body language at all, it's like a dog not wagging his tail.
What's the opposite though of calm body like anxiety?
Yes.
It's hers when she was. That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And going into the third one?
The third one, a crisis situation.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
probably the easiest one to notice.
Right.
Because if you're missing these other ones, and it could be like mild, minute, and then it just depends on how your child handles different situations. Say, for instance, like her classmate that just dealt with bullying at one school and went to another school and then continued to deal with bullying. So her stuff might have just went from 0 to 100, kind of like what you were saying, Gregory, where you just acting out and you're just outraged and just don't want to listen and could be disrespectful. You think you're trying to talk to them and it comes out as disrespectful.
Right.
That's something where you need to seek immediate help.
Right. And then also too, with crisis situations, you have to look at the time too, because we have some youth, when we have crisis situations, they can go for hours. And
In a crisis situation?
In a crisis situation, I've seen over an hour where they just continue to just rant, and it's hard for them to calm down. I've seen youth calm down in 2 minutes. I've seen them calm down in 10. So that's a very important issue too when it comes to actually the time limit. Yeah, that's very important in a crisis situation. The time, as well. Just learn how to let things go and learn how to cope with it and figure it out.
And a crisis situation might not be an outright situation. It could be on the opposite end as a total, like almost depression, like sleeping all the time, not eating, just completely withdrawn.
I guess
It could be a crisis situation like that.
Okay. Well, all the crisis situations I know are
At your job.
at my job, a high level. So, yes. I mean, but yes, I've never thought about that. But yes.
Yeah,
that
because if your child is not eating and
Right.
they're not
That makes
expressing to you anymore,
Right.
and they're just sleeping all the time,
right.
that's immediate help as well.
Yes. It's good.
So
Okay. So the bottom line is this is Mental Health Month, and we want to make sure that we are exposing our youth and being aware. That's the main thing, being aware of youth and their behaviors, and get help. Get help. There's a lot of ways to get help, counselors and things of that nature.
even after school, it doesn't. You
Yes.
don't have to spend money
Yes.
There's counselors at every school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Through insurance companies, and then also there's grants where they actually there's a certain number of times that you can actually go and get help for your youth. So there's a lot of things.
Well, that's a grant, you said?
Oh yes, there's a lot of
Okay.
grants. There's a lot of stuff out there that you have to research. And counselors know a lot of those things as far as,
School counselors.
School counselors as far as, the support, because they have
Or
a large-
pediatricians.
Yes.
Or the child's
yes,
doctor.
Yes. 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 Because I know a lot of people shy away from it because they always think that, I got to pay and, I can't afford it and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, there are avenues and ways to get help, and not looking at the dollar amount.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's more important, to make that adjustment, because it's about our youth. It's about our youth and our youth and our future. Woo!
Okay, well, that's pretty much it today. We want you to be aware, and if you know anyone that may be dealing with mental health issues, you can call, the suicide,
Ooh, no, I don't have all my stuff with me.
Okay. Okay, I will post below a number that you could call for the suicide hotline, because ultimately, when it comes to mental issues that's not addressed, it could very well lead to suicide, and that's something that we don't want. And over the years, I know there's a lot of veterans that have committed suicide. So,
or murder, or murdering someone else.
Yes, because it's not about just hurting you. It could be about hurting someone else as well.
Right.
That's all mental issues.
Yes.
Grace, Liv, do you have anything else to say as we wrap it up?
No.
We enjoyed you today.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
I'm glad you can make it with your busy schedule.
I know what hurt me.
My schedule is sleep.
That's busy.
It's summertime, guys.
Yeah.
So, we want you to remember 3 things. We want you to live life to the fullest, love every moment of it,
That's right.
and laugh every day. Guys, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and on the podcast where you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. We will see you every first and third Wednesday of the month. We will be posting. See you soon. Bye.